Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm continuing with my Abba discography journey. We have made it to their 7th studio album from 1980 called Super Trouper. Now, most likely, due to the disco backlash of the time, the album saw Abba returning to a more straightforward pop sound as opposed to the preceding and noticeably more dance-oriented Voulez-vous album. The disco backlash. Oh yes, I remember reading about that for the first time when I went on my Grace Jones discography journey. By the end of the 1970s, anti-disco sentiment developed among rock music fans and musicians, particularly in the United States. Disco music was criticized as mindless, consumerist, overproduced, and escapist. And what's wrong with that? The slogans "disco sucks" and "death to disco" became common. Rock artists such as Rod Stewart and David Bowie, who added disco elements to their music, were accused of selling out. July 12, 1979 became known as the day disco died because of the Disco Demolition Night, an anti-disco demonstration in a baseball doubleheader at Comiskey Park in Chicago. The promotional event was staged for disgruntled rock fans between the games of a White Sox doubleheader, which involved exploding disco records in center field. Some people argued that homophobia and most likely racism were reasons behind the movement. In the years since Disco Demolition Night, some social critics have described the Disco Sucks movement as implicitly macho and bigoted, and an attack on non-white and non-heterosexual cultures. Some have made the assumption that disco was the result of an unholy union between homosexuals and blacks. So if you were around during this time, the late 70s to early 80s, what are your opinions on this Disco Sucks movement? What was it like? Was it politically driven, fueled by homophobia and racism, or what were the underlying issues and causes of this movement? But of course, all great things make a comeback because disco has made a comeback in this day and age. You hear a lot of music today being influenced by disco. Disco in general has never really ever completely gone away. And one of the reasons being, for me anyway, is because it's just a fucking good time. Now I am looking at the track listing for Super Trouper. I'm listening to the bonus track version, which means there are 11 tracks for a total of 46 minutes. And the only songs I recall hearing before are tracks 1 and 2. Now, I actually don't ever recall hearing the Abba versions of Super Trouper and The Winner Takes It All. I do remember Cher's version of The Winner Takes It All though. So let's get into it with track 1, Super Trouper.
Super Trouper, beams are gonna blind me, 'cause somewhere in the crowd I was sick and tired of everything, wishing every show was the last show. And it's gonna be so different when I'm on the stage tonight. Super Trouper, lights are gonna find me, but I won't be true. Somewhere in the crowd there's you. Facing 20,000 of your friends, feel one thing and about you now. Everything will be so different when I'm on the stage tonight. Super Trouper, lights are gonna find me, but I won't be true. Somewhere in the crowd there's you. Side of you were good to me, I'm still alive, and when you take me in your arms, oh, it's gonna mean so much to you now. Like a Super Trouper, lights are gonna find me, but I won't be true. Somewhere in the crowd there's Super Trouper, lights are gonna find me, feeling like the Abba. Super Trouper, things are gonna find me.
That was track 1, Super Trouper. And I absolutely love the chorus of this song. It was the last track to be written and recorded for the album. I mean, this song passes the Abba test of being incredibly infectious and catchy. I also love the harmonies on this track. I think they're fantastic. What I also love about this track is Frida was the lead vocalist, but the other three members were backing vocalists as well. I was sick and tired of everything. When I called you last night from Glasgow, all I do is eat and sleep and sing, wishing every show was the last show. So imagine I was glad to hear you're coming. Suddenly I feel alright. This is one of those songs where I find the verses are just as memorable as the chorus. Tonight the Super Trouper lights are gonna find me shining like the sun, smiling, having fun, feeling like a number one. Tonight the Super Trouper beams are gonna blind me, but I won't feel blue like I always do, cause somewhere in the crowd, there's you. Super Trouper continued ABBA's run of chart success, particularly in Europe. It was to become ABBA's 9th and final number one in the UK. Now, I actually don't know what a Super Trouper is. A Super Trouper is a registered trademark for a series of follow spotlights used in stadium, concert, and special event lighting. Can I also comment on the album artwork for Super Trouper? I love it so much. I think out of all their album covers, this one is my favorite. I did like the overall production of Super Trouper, the overall instrumental, but I almost wish it packed a bit more oomph. I almost feel like at times this song's a bit too slow. I just wish there was a bit more oomph in it. Anyway, though, let's move on to track 2, The Winner Takes It All.
I don't wanna talk, though it's hurting me. Now it's history, and that's what you've done too. No more race to play. The winner takes it all. Beside the victory, that's her destiny. Thinking I belong there, I figured it makes sense. Playing by the rules, the gods make roll the dice. Someone way down here, winner takes it all. Why should I complain? Like I used to kiss you, does it feel the same? Somewhere deep inside, rules must be obeyed. The judges will decide. The game is on again. The winner takes it all. I don't wanna talk. You've come to shake my hand, but you see, the winner takes it all. The winner takes it
That was track 2, The Winner Takes It All. What a gorgeous composition. The Winner Takes It All is one of my favorite ABBA songs of all time. It really does resonate with me. I like the overall tone of the song. The instrumental is divine, and I just like the progression of the song. I love the lyrics. I don't want to talk about things we've gone through, though it's hurting me. Now it's history. I played all my cards, and that's what you've done too. Nothing more to say. No more ace to play. The winner takes it all. The losers standing small. Beside the victory, that's her destiny. I was in your arms thinking I belonged there. I figured it made sense, building me a fence, building me a home. I could honestly keep going on and on. Now, The Winner Takes It All was selected as the lead single from the album. Benny and Bjorn started writing The Winner Takes It All in the summer of 1979 in a cottage on the island of Vigzo. According to Bjorn, he drank whiskey while he was writing, and it was the quickest lyrics he ever wrote. He said, I was drunk, and the whole lyric came to me in a rush of emotion in 1 hour. He went on to say that when he gave the lyrics to Agnita to read, a tear or two welled up in her eyes because the words really affected her. Bjorn denies the song is about his divorce, saying the basis of the song is the experience of a divorce, but it's fiction. However, he did admit that the heartache of their breakup inspired the song. He went on to say, neither Agnita nor I were winners in our divorce. I mean, this is one of the few ABBA songs that does make me emotional when I hear it. I mean, some of the best art in the world, whether it be music or movies or a canvas painting or a book, has been created from a place of heartache, sadness, and intoxication. I love this song, but you get it. I personally think this is one of ABBA's greatest and finest achievements. Anyway, though, let's move on to track 3, On and On and On. That was track 3, On and On and On, and I really liked this track. The production was quite intriguing. I really liked the instrumental of this track, the piano and those synthesizers. It was really nice. I was at a party and this fella said to me, something bad is happening, I'm sure you do agree. People care for nothing, no respect for human rights. Evil times are coming, we are in for darker nights. Oh god, reminds me of 2020. I said, who are you to talk about impending doom? He got kind of wary. As he looked around the room, he said, I'm a minister, a big shot in the state. I said, I just can't believe, boy. I think it's great. I like the story of this song. I think it's quite cute, I guess. He was kind of flirty, he was giving me the eye, so I took advantage of the fact that I'm a star, shook my hair, and took a casual stroll up to the bar. I said, keep on rocking a baby till the night is gone, on and on and on. I thought this was a fun little track. I essentially liked everything about it, and I could definitely see myself listening to it again and again and again. Anyway, though, let's move on to track 4, On Dante, On Dante. Oh, this is so gorgeous.
Take it easy, touch me gently like a summer evening breeze. Andante, andante, just let the feeling go. Let your body be the velvet tonight. Andante, andante, go slowly with me now. I feel myself sick and I am because you're making me make me sing. Andante, andante, tread lightly on my ground.
That was track 4, Andante, Andante. I can't. This was pure magic. That instrumental, God help me. This was so pretty. This was a very pretty song, and just the overall composition, the singing, the songwriting, just everything about it was timeless. It kind of has a little bit of a doo-wop aesthetic to it. Now, Frida was the lead vocalist on this track, and she was spectacular, especially towards the end. Andante Andante is a love song, and the repeated musical term of the title means gently, slowly, or at a walking pace in Italian. Touch me gently like a summer evening breeze. Take your time, make it slow. Andante Andante, just let the feeling grow. Make your fingers soft and light. Let your body be the velvet for the night. Touch my soul. You know how. Andante Andante, go slowly with me now. I'm your music. I'm your song. Play me time and time again and make me strong. There's a shimmer in your eyes like the feeling of 1,000 butterflies. Please don't talk. Go on, play. Andante Andante, and let me float away. Honestly, I'm gonna play this at my wedding. I'm gonna play this at my wedding, along with King Kong song. Just kidding. I know how much you guys hate that song. I'm still indifferent towards it. I still kind of like it, but shh. Can I just say that we are 4 tracks into this album, and just the overall aesthetic of it, the compositions, the instrumental, the vibe, it's very, very, very beautiful. Anyway, though, let's move on to track 5, Me and I. I love it already.
Sometimes when I'm mad, there's a part of me that seems to be a little sad. Oh no, part of me is acting while the other stands beside. I feel like some radio, sometimes you read me and I. And you'll find the answer in everyone's speech. Sometimes I am annoyed with ideas that I got from good old Dr. Freud. Oh no, it's an explanation to my spirituality. We like some radio, sometimes we read together, me and I. Then you'll find the answer in everyone's speech.
That was track 5, Me and I. Ah yes, the magic of the album continues. What was this song? What was this song? I mean, that beat, the overall, just the production, the more electronic sound, especially that one part where, what is it? She says something about a freak. It was more robotic. Oh my god, I had an eargasm. Think about yourself for a minute and you'll find the answer in it. Everyone's a freak. Oh my god, I love that part. Sometimes when I'm mad, there's a part of me that seems to be a little sad. Sometimes when I scream, there's a voice in me that says, you shouldn't be so mean. Part of me is acting while the other stands beside. Yes, I am to myself what Jekyll must have been to Hyde. There's something quite odd about this song, a little weird and freaky, I won't lie. She's singing about me and I, the two sides to who she is. Not multiple personality, but the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sides to who she is. We're like sun and rainy weather, sometimes we're a hit together, me and I. So there's the gloomy side, the rainy side to her, but there's also the happy, sunny side. At least that's my interpretation of the song. It wasn't a single. I really liked it though. I really wasn't expecting the more electronic sound. I love the synthesizers on this album. I'm excited when I sometimes get like this in a video where I get so happy from listening to an album. I mean, I love an album when I get this way. This album is literally my spirit animal. Bjorn's maturity as a lyricist was showcased in songs like The Winner Takes It All and the hidden gem Me and I, featuring an Eartha Kitt-inspired lead vocal by Frida. Its split personality theme, I am to myself what Jekyll must have been to Hyde, combined with Frida's forceful delivery, put a welcome darker spin on Abba's largely bright and wholesome universe. Maybe that's why I like the song. I do tend to I like my happier, fun songs, but I also like my darker and moodier songs as well. Like the old saying goes, everyone has a dark side. Anyway, let's move on to track 6, Happy New Year. I'm a few months too late, but that's okay.
The fireworks are through, here we are. It's the end of the party. So unlike yesterday. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. When every neighbor is a friend. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. If we don't, we might as well lay down and die. Sometimes I see all the brave new world around. Man is a fool, and he thinks he'll be okay. Never knowing he's afraid. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. If we don't, we might as well lay down and die. That the dreams we had before are dead. In another 10 years' time, who can say what we'll find? And I'm 89. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. On a world where every neighbor is a friend. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And
That was track 6, Happy New Year, and this is another magical song on the album. But I will say this is probably my least favorite track on the album, out of all the songs I listened to, but I still think it's a nice inclusion on the album. When I was listening to the song, I was thinking of my mom and my dad in 1980 who were in their mid-20s, and they actually got married in 1981. So I was kind of imagining them celebrating 1980, the new decade to come, the 80s, and even 1981, the year they got married. I wonder where they were on New Year's Eve, 1979, to ring in the new year. It's the end of a decade. In another 10 years' time, who can say what we'll find, what lies waiting down the line in the end of 89. Happy New Year. So, I mean, I was waiting for my parents at the end of the 80s. I was born 1990. May we all have a vision now and then of a world where every neighbor is a friend. Happy New Year. May we all have our hopes, our will to try. If we don't, we might as well lay down and die, you and I. I mean, lyrically, this is another fantastic song on the album. I loved the overall production of the song, and I think it's beautiful. It's the end of the 70s, no more champagne, and the fireworks are through. Here we are, me and you, feeling lost and feeling blue. It's the end of the party, and the morning seems so gray. So unlike yesterday, now is the time for us to say Happy New Year. There is also something quite somber about this song as well. Feeling lost and feeling blue at the end of not just a new year, but a decade, and thinking, where is this new decade going to take me relationship-wise and my personal life, my career? Where am I going to be at the end of this coming decade? I mean, I remember ringing in the new year, 2020, going from 2019 into 2020, and everyone was so excited for the 2020s. And then it just went to shit very fast. Not just with COVID, but also I was laid off from my job. I was essentially laid off from my job. My mom told me about her cancer diagnosis, and then COVID hit, all within a matter of a couple months. And that was how my 2020 started. And then it just, shit hit the fan very fast, and the next couple years were just garbage. 2020, 2021, never want to experience anything like that ever again. The working title for the song was Daddy, Don't Get Drunk on Christmas Day. I like this track. I could definitely see myself playing it for many years to come on New Year's Eve. Anyway, though, let's move on to track 7, Our Last Summer.
The summer air was soft and warm, the feeling right, the Paris night. We had a drink in each cafe. We had our chance, it was a fine and true. I can still recall our last summer. Walks along the Seine, laughing in the rain. Memories that remain. We made our way along the river and we sat down in the grass. Those crazy years, that was the time on the flower power. I can still recall our last summer. In the tourist stand, round the Notre Dame. Our last summer, morning croissant. We could laugh together. And now you're working in a bank, a family man, a football fan. Yet you're the hero of my dream. I can still recall our last summer. Walks along the Seine, laughing in the rain. In the tourist stand, round the Notre Dame. Our last summer, morning croissant.
That was track 7, Our Last Summer, and this is another nice song on the album. It's not one of my favorites, but I still liked the songwriting. I like the lyrics. I also like the overall production of the track. I can still recall Our Last Summer. I still see it all. Walks along the Seine, laughing in the rain. Our last summer, memories that remain. We made our way along the river and we sat down in the grass by the Eiffel Tower. I was so happy we had met. I will say there does seem to be a bit of a darker undertone to a lot of these songs. It kind of feels like laying out on the grass on a bright sunny day during summer, and then a cloud comes along and covers up the sun, and everything turns gloomy and dark for a brief moment, and then the cloud keeps passing by, and then the sun exposes itself again, and everything is lit up once more. But then, minutes later, another gloomy cloud comes along and covers the sun. Then it goes away and the sun pokes out again. I really like the story being told in this song in particular. They are in Paris and it's summertime and they're going to all the cafes and they're just having a romantic time. And they were so happy, but it was our last summer, their last summer, walking hand in hand. Bjorn found lyrical inspiration for the song in a memory of a romance he had during a visit to Paris as a teenager. I also loved the guitar solo on this track. And even though it's not one of my favorites on the album, I still loved listening to it, and I would listen to it again. But let's move on to track 8, The Piper. That was track 8, The Piper. Wow. Definitely not something I was expecting. I was pleasantly surprised. I quite liked the overall instrumental. It has that childlike whimsy to it. It was also kind of Baroque sounding. And, very, very interesting. Especially with the flute. I like Baroque music. It just reminds me of, like the Renaissance and medieval times. They came from the hills and they came from the valleys and the plains. They struggled in the cold, in the heat, and the snow, and in the rain, came to hear him play their minds away. We're all following a strange melody. We're all summoned by a tune. We're following the piper and we dance beneath the moon. He gave them a dream. He seduced everybody in the land. The fire in his eyes and the fear was a weapon in his hand. I mean, this kind of confirms what I said before, how there does seem to be a darker undertone to a lot of these songs. This album overall is quite different from all their other albums. It's not as, I don't feel like it's as mainstream sounding. It's not as chipper and commercial, I guess. And I like it. It's a different sounding ABBA album, and that's what I like about it. There are also claims that the lyrics of this song involve some sort of Satanism, and there are references to Stephen King's 1978 novel The Stand and what have you. The lyrics deal with the fear that there will come a time when people will want such a leader again. So I don't know if any of those things are true. I mean, I'm kind of just reading this page here, and I don't know if I can trust the citations. I don't know if they're accurate. I mean, there is something a bit creepy about this album from time to time when it comes to certain lyrics, I guess. Anyway, though, let's move on to track 9, Lay All Your Love on Me.
I wasn't jealous before we met. You had me saying that smoking was my only vice, but now it isn't true. Now everything is new. Don't go wasting your time. Lay all your love on me. It was not shooting or sitting down. A grown-up woman should never fall so easily. Right and heavy here, unsatisfied. Don't go wasting your time. Lay all your love on me. I met a few little love affairs. It makes the truth even more incomplete.
That was track 9, Lay All Your Love on Me. And this is another song on the album where I was getting, I don't know, just the energy of the song is darker from what I'm used to in Abba's music. It was almost like a chant, and it kind of put a spell on me. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't know, I'm just getting creepy vibes from some of these songs, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I like I said already, I like darker things when it comes to movies and music. I like my happy, bright, fun, sunny music, but like I said, we all have a dark side. I do like the darker side of art and music and movies in general. I think it also has to do with the overall instrumental of some of these songs, the use of the synthesizer. It's a bit more ominous sounding, at least for me anyway. I wasn't jealous before we met. Now every woman I see is a potential threat, and I'm possessive. It isn't nice. You've heard me saying that smoking was my only vice, but now it isn't true. Now everything is new, and all I've learned has overturned. I beg of you, don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me. I feel a kind of fear when I don't have you near. Unsatisfied, I skip my pride. I beg you, dear, don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me. Don't go sharing your devotion. And then she goes on to say, I've had a few little love affairs. They didn't last very long, and they've been pretty scarce. I used to think that was sensible. It makes the truth even more incomprehensible. So I feel like this song is about being unfaithful. Both sides perhaps be unfaithful, the man and the woman, I don't know. And she's saying, I'm possessive and don't go wasting your emotion on other people. Lay all your love on me, not other people. I don't want to share your love. Your love is for me. Lay all your love on me. So that's kind of my interpretation of the song. I really did enjoy this track, and it's another great song on the album. We are 9 tracks into the album so far, and I haven't disliked any of these songs yet. There are songs I prefer more than others, of course, but overall, I would listen to each and every one of these songs again. So let's move on to track 10, The Way Old Friends Do, live 1979.
And I can share the silence through fights and words of violence, the way old friends do. Times of joy and times of sorrow.
was track 10, The Way Old Friends Do, live from 1979. Wow, this was really, really, really nice. It was quite dramatic, and I liked the build-up, and I don't know, I thought it was spectacular. You and I can share the silence, finding comfort together, the way old friends do, and after fights and words of violence, we make up with each other, the way old friends do. Times of joy and times of sorrow, we will always see it through. Oh, I don't care what comes tomorrow, we can face it together, the way old friends do. I am kind of speculating that many of these songs lyrically are about their divorces. It's just speculation because it could be about that, but it could also be about many other things as well that have happened in their lives. But anyway, we have made it to the end of the album, track 11, Elaine. That was track 11, Elaine. And I wasn't crazy about this track. It was a little creepy, I won't lie. You hate, you scream, you swear, and still you never reach him. You curse, you try to scare, but you can never teach them. It's a dead-end street. They tie your hands and tie your feet, and the street is narrow. A nowhere lane, a nowhere train for Elaine, Elaine, Elaine. You know they're gonna get you. You try to break away, but they will never let you. It's a dead-end street. You're like a goldfish in a bowl. They have your mind, they'll take your soul. The song is about a devil-may-care path in pursuit of love. I did think the vocals were a bit creepy during the part where they say you're like a goldfish in a bowl. They have your mind, they'll take your soul. I did like listening to it for the first time, but I personally do not think it's a highlight from the album. So that was all 11 tracks of Super Trouper by Abba, and this was a fantastic experience. I essentially enjoyed each and every one of these songs. I would listen to all of these songs again. Of course, I have my favorites, but even the songs that aren't my favorites, I would still listen to again. It's a much different sounding ABBA album. The overall production, the synthesizers, it's a bit more electronic in parts, and there are flutes and, of course, guitars, drums, but just the overall production. There's also Baroque pop as well, and just the overall production of this album I found quite intriguing and fun. There's definitely a darker undertone to a lot of these songs, I find. A darker undertone when it comes to some of the production choices, but also lyrically and even vocally at times. This definitely isn't the happiest ABBA album, at least not for me. I think back to all their other albums, and this one I feel like might be one of their darkest. I don't know, there's something about the energy on this album that's different. It's their singing, it's the production, it's the songwriting. This isn't the Abba that I was first introduced to on their first few albums. I feel like something has changed. I personally think, though, this is a big improvement over their prior album, Voulez-vous. This album is so damn beautiful to listen to. I love most, if not all, the compositions. The instrumentals are gorgeous to listen to. And the songwriting. I mean, some of their best songwriting is on this album. Good job, Benny and Bjorn. I really like the stories they shared with me on this album. I also want to comment on Agneta and Frida because their vocals were amazing, like always, in many of these songs. I like the happier side of things, but I also like the dark side, and I feel like that might be one of the themes of the album. The light and the dark side, the light side, two different sides to a person. The sadness, the grim side, but the uplifting, happy, fun side, I guess. So I do want to say that out of all the Abba albums I've listened to thus far, Super Trouper is now one of my favorites. I do find a lot of these songs to be very memorable, and they stick with you, they resonate with you, and I just liked the overall feel of this album. You know what? Screw it, I'm gonna say it. This is one of their best albums. I really do think all these songs sound great together, and I think it's a very cohesive album. I am curious to know, though, how many of these songs actually are about their divorces. So what did you guys think of this album, and what are your impressions of it? Maybe you're not a big fan of it like I am. Tell me why in the comments. And leave your little tidbits of information, your little nuggets of knowledge when it comes to Abba and their music during this time, this album in particular, and even their upcoming album, The Visitors, which I will be checking out in my next Abba video. Their last album for 40 years. Wow. So look out for that video next time, and thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I will see you next time. Take care.